I recently just took a trip to Florida to catch some peacock bass, and here are my top lures that I caught most of my bass on, if not, I'd say, yeah. There were only a handful of lures that I would pick out of the tackle box that I brought. I brought a lot, like an average fisherman does, but only a few were worth bringing. So I always start off with something small to kind of scout out the fish, see where they're at, see what they're like, and see the speed they like. So the first thing is, it's already a bit torn up, as you can see, but that's just from all the bass I caught. A mimic minnow. I use bright colors, white. That's their natural prey. They like the little bait fish. I swim it pretty erratically, pretty quick, but they're aggressive fish, so you can always trust them to follow the lure and usually bite quick. Sometimes you gotta jig them a little bit, and when you have to jig them, I go with, it's all torn up too, this one. Just a little crappie hair jig. I usually just wave it right in front of their face for a few casts, and usually you can rely on them to bite after, I'd say, 10 up to 30 casts, or like drops, but I'd say average was like 5 to 20 in that area. It can get a little bit draining, but it's usually worth it in the end, I'd say. And again, white color I use usually, or a blackened with a yellow or chartreuse tail. They like those. And then when we size up a little bit, of course, as we all know, they love their bait fish. So I go with this. Now I only caught a few. I actually caught a few largemouth on this, and a few peacocks too. And a few years ago, I did catch a clown knife fish with them on my vacation. But yeah, anything. I just swim it. Sometimes I'll add a little action to it, but usually I don't need to. Usually you can rely on the action that the swim bait gives on a straight retrieve to entice the fish. Next, we have the jerk bait. I'd say this is the go-to for most peacock fishermen. Something, again, white, and it's obviously very erratic, very random for the fish. They usually always get it on that pause. So, yep, I just let it pause. I twitch, pause for 3 to 4 seconds, and I can rely on very well any jerk bait, really. And then, of course, the last one, spook. My setup that I brought 2 rods, but they weren't ideal for top water, but I did catch a really nice one. One of my nicest ones on the spook. So I don't want to say you're gonna get numbers, because I think statistics say 95% of their bites is like middle column to like up a little bit upper, but top water is 5%, so 5% they bite. So you're not gonna get the number of fish you would with, say, a hair jig, but you're gonna get some big ones. So, and it's of course amazing watching them. So yeah, I get a lot of questions on like my fish brain and stuff on like, what do you catch them on? Where do you catch them? I catch them obviously South Florida, really. Boca Raton, that's where I visit, so that's where I catch all of my peacock bass, and a lot of really nice largemouth on those same lures. You just gotta usually cast farther out. But yeah,